You got the music set up already?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Go back here. And
Yes, you were setting up something.
go back.
I don't have my laptop right now. I don't have my laptop right now.
Okay, go here. And go to the other tab. Up top. And you can hit it.
I'll just hit it. Now, when the guest calls, do we have to turn that off?
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about.
Shout out to all my barber, shout out to all my stylists. We are Beards and Baldheads, your host Fat Lace. Got the flyest guy on the planet, covering his shirt. True lies.
Yo.
Felt insecure today, T. I had time to get something nice to put on. I know I gotta, sit next to you, man. I had to get a pack of great teas real quick, man.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's what you do to the people, man.
I have no clue.
Shaking in their boots. Invisible bullies. Mr. Aggie Pride himself. Cousin D back in the building.
What up?
You see how you come with the fly, T?
Black is the future.
Black is the future.
You know,
I like that.
got the fist up. You ready?
People missing you, D. Shout out to the Soul Survivor. Barry, I'm not sure if he's going to be here today. Has some things to handle. Shout out to the Soul Survivor. Shout out to everybody on the check. We're going to have a special show tonight. We got a special guest calling in. All the way from Alabama, Miss Courtney Kirk from the Kirk Effect Hair Studio will be our guest tonight. We're calling in, and she's going to tell us her journey, how she came from being a Division I DHU. For all my HBCU people out there, we're not talking about Hampton, we're talking about Howard. Division I basketball player to be one of the best hairstylists,
Bisons.
owner, shop owner out there. She gets busy.
Word.
She
Got
gets
the cross?
she gets what?
She got the cross
that's,
game?
that's just a little clip right there. She gets
Hezzy
busy.
curl?
She
Oh,
gets
she do the real
busy.
curls.
She gets busy. We're gonna have her calling in tonight.
She went from hezzy curls to the hair curls.
She gets busy. We're gonna have her calling in tonight. That's the fam. We're gonna talk about a few things before we have our guest on tonight. 4th of July. Was y'all scared to even say Happy 4th of July to anybody black?
I don't know what that is.
No, because I didn't celebrate it before all this shit.
You gonna have to bring that a little bit closer, so they could hear you.
I said, nah, because I ain't celebrated before all this.
It was just fireworks to me.
I just went for the cookouts.
Yeah, you
Food. I
know
went
me.
for the food. I was there for
Fireworks
the
in
food.
the parade. That's it. Little barbecue.
Yeah, I see my peoples, but I didn't celebrate that for 10 years.
Yeah, I never protested it. I just, Yo, 4th of July was the thing when we was little, though.
Because
Oh, for sure. Because downtown.
Downtown Plainfield,
yeah,
my
the
Plainfield
parade.
people, you would have your 4th of July fit ready.
What? We had the baseball uniforms on. We was in the parade.
Yo, yeah, that was the thing. When you was in the parade, what? I remember being a Cub Scout, being in the parade and baseball. Hold up. CT, you ain't catch what he just did, yo. I love my cousin to death. But he had the biggest Patriot baseball cheating team ever. Shout out to my brother DK out there. They was undefeated, like the illest championship squad in Little League history. That's why I'm like, hold up, I wasn't in it in baseball. That was only your team.
We did a few times, you know.
Yeah, that was your team.
Everybody took part. What you mean?
It's cool though. It's cool
It's an
though.
all-inclusive organization down there on Rock Ave.
Yo, man, I owe y'all a lot of points. And let you get one for all inclusive. We're not talking about a vacay with the drinks free, man. So you get one with that right there. That's that A&T education. Man, yo, this weekend was when it come like to the tabloids. Do we even say tabloids anymore or social media headlines? It's a few things that we gonna discuss.
Feeds, they're just all news.
That's what it's called, the feeds, on the news feeds, man. Sorry, my body is not fresh this week, man. Shout out to my barber James out there. We're gonna get right to it. I feel like the music is too loud. I feel like it is, maybe not. But this right here, and we ain't gonna stay on it too long. Messy?
I'm asking.
Yo, is it real life?
Is it true? I don't know.
No, it's true. I'm acting like I'm in Hollywood. You know what I mean? Like I really know, but it's this Jada, this Will thing in August. It's hard to ignore. It's hard to ignore. How do we look at marriage now? Because they keep saying that's my life partner. And when he was on the Red Table Talk, Will said, I am not getting divorced. But marriage is not marriage like it used to be.
He's smart. He ain't trying to lose that paper.
He not trying to lose the paper. Half Eddie. You don't want to use half? What's going on?
Jane ain't got nothing to worry about. I mean, if speculations are correct, it is what it is between them. But I don't know. I don't know shit about
it's been rumored for decades. What the past 2 decades? Like, that's not new news.
It's been rumored for decades, but what's happening now is with the whole thing as far as it just being out there like that. Publicized. It's crazy. It's crazy. And now you got August on who was with what's the old girl Angela Yee on her show.
Well, yeah, he
talking
got music
about
coming out, right? So he's trying to do the most.
That's what's going on with it.
Towards him.
That's what's going on with it. His hair was looking like he had some natural bundles. It was looking bugged out if y'all ain't. So it's a pub thing.
I honestly couldn't point him out in the street if he walked past me.
I couldn't either.
Punch me in the face.
I couldn't do it either.
Is she about to do a Red Table Talk? Maybe they all doing it.
She
maybe
can't
they
do
all
it with him.
Yeah, but maybe they all in on it.
He said, "Yo, Will gave him the blessings." It sounds like a set. We don't. No, it's different from us because we never had that. If we mess with somebody's wife, you're gonna get killed. You mess with somebody's girl, you gonna feel it. We're not used to having a situation where someone gave him your blessings to someone he's still supposed to be with. I'm used to hearing stuff about, yo, nah, I'm tight. I'm mad.
Jump out the window.
Jump out, yeah. Like this
They
is
apparently getting down in the same building.
yeah, that's word on the street.
There's a whole swinger culture though.
This is even bigger than swinging.
But I know, but I'm just saying, that's not unheard of.
This is unheard of to me. I've heard of swinging. I get that. This right here is a whole different level.
This is something that our culture is familiar with for us to be comfortable with. You might see that type of lifestyle in, like, you know, the white Hollywood scene and stuff like that, but no.
They taking Aussies together.
I'm not doing that.
Jada said it was a clip where Jada said, I could be in this side of the house with
whoever,
one joker, and you can be in the other side of the house with another joker, but we're gonna be in this joker together. So like we going like,
and that's freaky and strange at the same time.
Should life be like that?
Do they compete for like?
Are they going against the rules?
Yo, what are the rules?
It's their rules. What do you mean?
What are the rules? You make the rules, right?
That's their marriage.
In a relationship and marriage, you make the rules as a couple. So if we don't know their rules, then we can't say if that's foul or fair game.
Are they really? Shout out to Uncle Mike on the check-in. Are they really respecting marriage to the fullest? Because they say until death do us part. So they're actually not divorcing, but they're still continuing with their rules. How you saying, D?
People make marriage whatever it is. Look, it's got nothing to do with it, but there's Jewish people that don't get married. Their women have 6, 7, 8 kids. They go through a religious marriage, not on paper and everything. But they're married on paper, but their wives claim that they're single mothers and have 7 kids and do all this other stuff in the name of marriage. Like, so what is fair? It depends on what you think it is. Me, honestly, no, I can't do that. But then again, I'm not rich like them, so maybe if I was, my thought on that would change. So
No
I
doubt.
guess you got to be open to interpretations based on how you feel about the marriage process.
No doubt.
And then Tisha Campbell was.
Heard about Tisha.
They said they was kind of her kind of alluding that with him and Dwayne Martin.
You get a point for alluding
True.
to. Yes, I've been hearing that. And she owning, we watching the same things, owning their house and helping them out. And I'm like, damn, starting to look back, they did give them a whole show.
That was the thing then.
Yeah, I heard it was going on back then, but I'm like, I get it now. I need some friends like that. Yo, y'all want to give me a show? So we got a show, so we ain't got to do nothing. But still, it was different. It was different. Does it play an effect on these kids right here? Because I don't want to talk about nobody kids. I don't want to talk about
I
them.
think the kids already knew. So no, I don't. I mean, it affects them because that's why they are the way they are.
And how are they, T?
Very
Free.
free-spirited.
Free-spirited?
Free-spirited.
That's the way to say it?
Like,
I mean,
Jada don't say Tyler Creator's his boyfriend. Like he'll say that.
It's weird. It's not what we used to. It's different.
Yeah,
he could be trolling us because, like,
I think he is, but still, it won't matter. But I think he is.
Oh, this is different. The world is different, man.
I guess you would need to see. You don't know how much the kids are around or involved, how much they do or don't know, what type of conversations their parents have had with them about the situation. So it's kind of hard to judge. We can only look from the outside and speculate.
I knew they were
right.
different. I knew they were different when he said he wasn't. He didn't punish his kids, but he rather had them explain why they did what they did.
Said he'd rather have them explain what they did?
Yeah, so why do you think this was a good decision? Like, you know,
No doubt.
where you might get a whooping.
That's
or
teacher,
you get popped.
you trying to
Ray, what
coach
up, baby?
the behavior.
Yeah, so like, why was that a good decision? You tell me why that was a good decision.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew they was different off of that alone.
Yeah, that's I never had that. I'm like, all right, yo, you want punishment?
No
That,
ifs, ands, or
no
buts,
if ands,
reasons
like why did you do it? Is you did it and it's the consequence.
True.
My parents wasn't rich enough.
Just have a talk about it, right? You gonna learn.
You gonna learn today, man. Your stuff is different, man. You know, they say don't judge, but probably when his mic is off, we might say a little something different. Or even in our head, this is not what we grew up on. This is not the norm for us over here. At least not to me.
Shoot.
So some stuff, but the more we think is normal, the more things change. And, you know, something changed on one of my favorite shows. The Chi. Y'all been watching The Chi?
Yeah.
If y'all know, this man right here, you know, it says salute. This brother right here, Mr. Want to read this for me, D? Can you read that?
Oh, can I see that? I can see that. Salute this brother right here, Mr. Barton Fitzpatrick, better known as Reg from the hit show The Chi. Producers killed off his character because he refused to be in a relationship with a transgender. Hopefully he lands back on his feet, stand for something, or fall for anything.
Yo, thank you, D. Reg was a light character. His character was developing. And when he got killed off, to me, it kind of didn't make sense. I can understand him getting shot in that scene, but we were still kind of confused for all those who watched The Chi. Was he dead?
He was riddled with bullets.
Yes, he was. You get another point for Riddle right there. I'm not to say he was shot
It
up.
was just very sudden.
It was very
Yeah, it was
sudden.
sudden.
It was like, man, like, yo, how did this happen? And then season 3 now. So now season 3 comes out, and you have Johnny Gill, whatever his real name is, the one who played Johnny Gill in New Edition.
Luke James.
Oh,
Great
that's
actor. Yeah, great actor.
I don't know if he's a great actor, but talented dude.
Talent, whatever. I feel you. I might give him too much. He's not great, but talented.
Because I only seen him in one thing.
But yeah, no doubt. But damn, now got me thinking about Johnny. Maybe it's making a lot of sense.
Yeah, right here. That's funny.
Put two and two together.
Put 2 and 2 together. So now, so what makes it, for those who haven't seen it, the new character that's playing Reg's brother, he's
Trig.
dating Trig. That's his name.
Trig.
So Trig, long lost brother. We found out last week. A spoiler alert if you have been watching, is dating a transgender. And the way
Now, hold on real quick.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it, until I saw the episode where it said it. But then I was like, damn. I went back and a flashback, and I was like, she was giving him a dope ass haircut.
I didn't
Not
peep
that
that.
women can't cut hair, but she was lining them up kind of nice with the clippers.
I didn't even peep that. I just thought she was gangster. She was grabbing the gun. She was putting in that work.
Ready
But
to
that
pop.
scene, it threw a lot of people off when they were at the club. When they were at the club, and the gay guy hits on him, and to me it seemed, I guess, a natural reaction. I wasn't surprised at his reaction from his character being gangster. Get off me, back up off me, da da da. And then when she says to him, do you remember that line verbatim? It was like, in order for you to love me,
Pretty much you gotta love us.
you have to love him. That's what she said.
Or accept us.
Accept him. And when she was saying accept him, I got it right there. I'm like, oh,
See,
I am him. I'm a guy.
We knew what happened on Twitter beforehand, so it was
See, I'm not a Twitter guy, so I didn't. What happened on Twitter?
No, I mean, like we knew why he wasn't on the show.
I didn't know. I don't know.
I didn't know that
Twitter.
either.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that. My Twitter account, I
But you can see
never
the
signed up.
conflict in Trig when the dude approached him. I think you can see the conflict in him. That
Well, yeah, he didn't. No, yeah. Well,
I thought it was.
he don't know how to feel.
he don't know how to feel, but like he said to her, all I see is a woman. Like,
Yeah, and I got it. And then when I saw that, I didn't know what happened to his character, and this was the reason why, because he didn't want to date a transgender on the show. Honestly, I didn't think that character development would be believable. I think they would be forcing the issue if they had Reg to be the one dating the transgender. And to find out this is what happened, I'm pretty disgusted, because I'm like, it's forcing. I'm happy he stood up for what he believed in, but it's real hard to make someone do it. I know it's acting. How do y'all feel about that happening to him, and what would y'all do if y'all were put in that same type of position? You're an actor, you are in character, this is what takes place, but it's something different. If y'all on the check-in, let us know what y'all feel.
I mean, one thing I think about is it discrimination on his part.
Is it?
Michael Rainey is always going to be Tariq, and he's going to always be Reg. So he would have always been associated with that, and that's just not what he wanted. Like, we don't normally take people's names away from their characters. I'm like, oh, like you said, Johnny Gill. Where I'm like, oh, that's Luke James, because he's a singer.
Yeah.
But no, you say Johnny Gill, so it would have been the same thing with Reg. He's associated with that person.
And he mess up.
So that becomes his real life a little bit.
He mess up Omar's clout.
Great point.
Omar was amazing, and that was a great show.
Great point. And I thought about that with Omar, but this is the difference with Omar. Omar was introduced in the beginning as being gay.
Word.
So it wasn't a surprise 2 seasons later, okay, now you're dating a man. Now you're into men, as opposed to...
As that actor, look at him.
Yeah.
He had to take that chance and jump off that bridge to take that role, and look what it done for him.
But he was already Johnny. So I guess he said, well, I'm already Johnny Gill. They gonna believe me.
They gonna believe me?
They said Johnny.
I'm just saying, is he risking anything, not taking the chance that Omar took with developing that role and taking that role and
I feel what you're
owning
saying.
it
I feel what
and being a part of it, rather than now you kind of put yourself on the line and say, oh, well, why don't you want to why are you against the transgender community? So he's kind of bringing a little backlash on himself in a way to me.
Hey Pam, hey Lola on the check-in. No, yo, I feel you, D. It's interesting to me because it's like, yo, he could have got that character. He could have been owning it. They say sometimes if you take on a character like that, a lot of doors start opening up for you in Hollywood.
He ain't got to turn into Mr. C, but shit, it's just an acting role.
And shout out to Mr. C. He was at the party. He
But
DJ'd my party, last year, 2 years ago.
But it depends on what you.
That's one of my favorite
what
DJs.
You're asked to do though.
Huh?
It depends on what you're asked to do.
It depends on. That's a great point. That's a great point. Now the lady who is.
Oh yeah, they did go a little far.
They did in the late, but they now this is another thing.
Did y'all watch the last episode?
I did. The woman who is supposed to be the transgender, man, woman, she's really a woman in real life, from what I hear.
I've been hearing very conflicted reports about that.
Yeah?
I don't know.
So that's another part. I heard that. Now, is that going against? I don't know. If y'all have a friend or anybody y'all know that's transgender, let them call in. Let them, chime in, because I don't know. So I don't want to speak too much on how that person may think. But I'm just seeing it from the way I see it. It seems like discrimination. It's a hard decision to make as a man. I'm going to say that. It definitely will be hard for myself, and I probably could speak for y'all as well. That will be a hard decision to make. You have your money. You have your opportunity. This is Hollywood. You're a black man. You don't know when your next role is going to come. And now,
so
bam.
Now jump back a couple of conversations. You was talking about Will Smith. What's one of the big roles that he jumped into when he started getting into movies?
My mind was on
there. You go.
My mind was
Let's
on
talk about it.
6 Degrees of Separation.
6 Degrees of Separation. He played
where
what?
He played the gay man, and he, Will, being Will, is gonna take the challenge and suck it up and do his job. Oh shit!
Yeah, you get a pause for that one, or was it not? I don't know.
No pun intended.
You never know. But Will did take on that role, and when he took that role,
many actors have. That's the thing. Like many actors have.
We got people on the check, and we got Cortez Murray says, let's look at Dave Chappelle. They wanted him to dress like a female. He refused. And his whole role changed and stopped doing it. Now, I've seen black comedians dress up as females, and it'll be funny to me. Sometimes you can nail that character.
We're talking about
it is a difference.
Chappelle and him, who I forgot his name already.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's totally different.
Exactly.
This is before Dave Chappelle.
Now this was still Dave Chappelle.
This
This after season 2. Chappelle was still Chappelle. It's not like a Jamie Foxx when Jamie Foxx did a Wanda in hilarious character blew up. Martin did Shanae blew up.
Big Mama.
And it's a difference from playing a character, or maybe it's not, I'm not sure, as opposed to now you're dating another sex that you might feel uncomfortable with because it's going against your own morals.
True.
So what I noticed last episode at the end when they're all like kind of listening to what is that music what's the song? What We Have Is Much More. Well, I can't think of the name of the song. That's my joint too.
You gonna sing it, T?
Nah. I forgot. But yeah, they all standing there and like just look at how they looking at each other in their face.
Yeah.
And they wanted to show intimacy, but they didn't. They weren't intimate. Mm-hmm. And I think that they were right here.
They were. They were.
But I don't like. I think there was a reason why they stopped right there. Even though in the last episode it maybe was shown, but I think that it stopped right there for a reason.
They don't want to go too far.
Even though I want to say the last episode, I want to say he kissed her, but I'm not sure.
I'm not sure, man. I want to know how y'all feel on the check. Like, yo, it's something different. It's something different. Jay Bellin, what's up, Jay? Friend of the show. He said, what's up, Chantel on the check-in? What's up, Cortez and Pam?
Ben Rames,
he said, Ben Rames.
Him, Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes.
Wong Fu. I mean,
Ben Rames in Pulp Fiction was crazy.
Well, yeah, that's.
Their characters blew up at that. Their characters blew up after taking those challenging roles.
Mm-hmm. Vulnerable roles.
Vulnerable more than anything. They say to be one of the best, to be a great actor, you have to be vulnerable with your characters. But at the same time, it's a certain amount of pride. It's a certain amount of dignity that some men and women that they have. But I'm saying men. I'm gonna say women too. But we're talking about men right now. That they have where like I'm not crossing that line.
Nope.
I'm not crossing that line, and you got to stand up for something. So it's It's something different right there, man. It's something different right there. You know, y'all let me know how y'all think.
I want to hear, like, you know, I'd like to hear from Mike on that.
You said you like this?
His appointment, his opinion on that.
Oh, you said who on that?
Mike.
Michael.
Mitch.
Oh, I would love to hear from Mike. That Syph, man. Let me know how you feel about
As
that.
an actor, you know, if he's in that type of
All
position,
my people acting, my boy Aaron Moore, and I would love to hear
true.
how anybody who's acted. Pam said Queen. Yes, my cousin Pam, my aunt Pam, my North Carolina Pam said Queen Latifah, and set it off.
She's playing herself.
At that point, she did not come out and say, I'm gay. Now, it was rumored, but she played that role and she nailed that role. She killed it. Cleo was that one. Cleo was the truth. And she did that role so much justice where it was like, but it was new at that time. It was new at the time. It wasn't just, but she killed that role, embodied that role so well. And you see what happened after that? Latifah was through the roof.
I think there's no controversy when the story writing is good.
Mm-hmm.
Like my boy, this is not my words, but my boy, he said, like, when you kill off one of your top actors or employees or whatever, or characters, you know, when you kill off one of your top characters, your agenda has become more important than your art. Because you, like, the loopholes and bounds you got just to do that, like, had to jump through to get to that. Now, granted, she had a lot of bullshit happen with, like, Brandon and all that, but even then, like, that still shouldn't have affected Reg.
Nah, for we're about to get off the subject soon, but let me got my boy Syph on the check and I got Stacy on the check. And what's good? Our topic right now, we are talking about, and shout out to Jay Bell, and he also was saying how, Syph, you got it right now. Well, we're talking about Reg, the character. We're talking about Mr. Barton Fitzpatrick, better known as Reg from the hit show The Chi. Producers killed off this character because he refused to be in a relationship with a transgender. The new character came. What's his name again, T? Trey came. He took the role on. Now he's off. We want to know how y'all feel. What's up to Tiny on the check-in? Man, it's something different.
But then I'm like, why Jake don't really like Trig like that? Did Trig try to abuse Jake when he was little?
Nah, he just didn't know he was still around.
He thought he left.
Thought he was dead.
Why?
Because he why did he say he left?
Again, the writing
is shaky with that.
Yeah, the writing is bad because, like I said, you could watch Euphoria, or you could watch The Watchmen, or you can watch even The Wire, and that's like, we shouldn't be talking about that.
We should know because the character development was already there. That's my point.
So it wouldn't have mattered.
That's my point. They said the new character left because I forgot what it was. You gotta watch episode 1 again. But they tried to bring it all in, and they did the best they could. About at 10 o'clock, a little bit before, we're gonna have our special guest call in. We're gonna have Miss Courtney Kirk.
I thought he got
We're gonna have her call in. One of the best hairstyles out there on earth, Miss Alabama's own, Howard's own.
Oh, she from Alabama?
She from Alabama. That's that Birmingham.
Nice.
Will be calling in, so make sure you are tuning in so you can listen to her journey and find out how she got to be who she is right now. I love some HU. I love some DC. Shout out to this man right here who made that step. Want to change the narrative for top basketball players. Is it McCord Maker? Am I saying his name right?
I think that's it.
McCord Maker. He announced that he's going to Howard. He's a 5-star all-star high school recruit. We were talking about this, about how we could change the way that black schools get funding, the way that we could change the whole narrative. They don't have to go to the Dukes, the UNCs, the Kentuckys. They can go to the North Carolina A&Ts.
All day.
They can go to the FAMUs. They can go to the Howards. They can go to the Hamptons. And this man right here made a big jump by committing to Howard. And he tweeted this, and that's much tweet that I know, TJ. So Mikey, was it Mikey Williams? They say, is he one of, are they in the same year? Mikey Williams.
I think Mikey Williams might have another year to play, but he's probably
the top dude.
He's a higher recruit than him, and he already was talking about how he would look in HBCU uniforms. He had a tweet, wearing a North Carolina A&T uniform, which very exciting.
Aggie pride. So he says, I'm on your side, my boy. Let's shock the world. Let's shock the world. How do y'all feel about that switch right there? How do y'all feel about that power move?
I'm with it.
I'm with that all day. Like, think before these colleges and stuff wanted to accept us as black student athletes into their schools, there was these HBCUs and stuff like that would run these teams each year in and year out. Look back at the school, the team. What's that movie, TJ? You remember that movie? Where,
I was just thinking about with the Miners.
Yeah,
when they beat Kentucky
or something.
Yeah, and they beat Pat Riley and them.
Even in the NFL,
Glory
a lot
Road.
of these
It's called
NFL
Glory Road.
A lot of these NFL Hall of Famers and stuff like that went to black colleges and stuff. Grambling, Southerns, Prairie View A&Ms, Alcorn States, things like that. So that the athletes are there, but once they started getting subjugated to these big schools and stuff like that, it changed everything, and the money became more of a difference. So now I think it's only right that these HBCUs get that money back.
Some people were concerned about, I was watching, shout out to the Owl Show, my girl Toya Queen B, shout out to, they're gonna be up tomorrow, 7 o'clock. Soup, that's what time they start, 7, right? 7 to 8:30 on BKS1. Last week's topic, they were saying some HBCUs, a lot of them in the hood. And will they feel protected being in certain neighborhoods as far as these all-stars? To me, it wouldn't be a big difference.
I think they'll be perfectly fine. They ain't part of a program. That program ain't gonna let them. I mean, yeah, things happen outside of the the gym and the classroom, but stuff like that they're taken care of. Nothing should happen to him. He should be all right. The school is going to want to take care of him, because then what's the perception they're going to have? We let these 5-star athletes come to these HBCUs whose campuses are in the hood and they don't make it or stuff happens. They don't want that look.
I think so. What about you, TG? Want to chime in on that one? Or
I think they'll be fine.
I think so as well. One of the big things that's going to happen is now they're going to get the sponsorships from the Nikes, from the Adidas, and it's going to go to the school. That's going to be millions of dollars being put into the school. Now they can afford the top coaches that can prepare them. We have so many black basketball players, but they are not Division I coaches. They don't have the opportunities to be there. And some of them might be overqualified, and they're not going to get paid the way they should. Now I think with moves like this happening and the way the sponsorships will happen, they will be able to afford these the top of the top and get even bigger, the best of the best as far as equipment, uniforms, traveling expenses. The stuff has to get paid for, but sometimes they don't have the alumni to pay for it.
Well, what I was wondering is, does this make the tuition more?
It shouldn't.
Okay.
It actually shouldn't, because they're going to get so much other type of money in that it shouldn't affect tuition.
It shouldn't at all.
What's going to affect tuition more is these schools trying to get rid of that perception that a lot of their schools are in the hood by buying up property around the school and kind of move that out, and they're going to build up on those lower income neighborhoods that are around some of these schools and turn the whole campus around.
That's absolute. I've seen that in Chapel Hill.
Yeah, because I'm trying to figure out why are the PWIs so expensive?
Some of them are because if they're not state schools, like take a UNC for instance. It's easier to get in if you're in state, but that's one of the most expensive schools coming from out of state. But a Duke, it's a private school, so it's going to be the same tuition either way. So that's the difference, and they can control their tuition however they want to do it. I went to a private school. I went to LIU Brooklyn. Shout out to my Blackbirds, even though we're not Blackbirds anymore. But it makes a big difference. One thing, and D, I want you to chime in on this. Some people feel when you're at HBCUs, there aren't any white people there.
Oh no, there definitely.
Let's speak on that.
I think there definitely are. I mean,
Glory Road, Syfe, I see you.
They go to those schools, you know, because honestly, they get minority scholarships and stuff too. But then
Say that one more time.
they get minority scholarships to go to HBCUs.
They get minority scholarships.
And
the money.
I mean, the school I went to, I know there was white guys that went to the school. Some of them played on the baseball team.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them just went there because they had a good engineering program. So they might have went to UNCG and took classes at A&T or stuff like that. But all is welcome, bro. That's all they're going to say.
I hope more things like this happens. A school that in the hood, in Raleigh, shout out to all my peoples down at NC, St. Augustine, they had one of the most world-renowned track schools. It's Division II school. Unfortunately, they just lost their track coach and athletic director. He got fired. I'm not sure the whole reason why. I spoke to some of the alumni, former runners for him. They said it was a business decision. You know how that goes. Shout out to all my people from St. Aug. When I saw St. Aug for the first time, y'all know I'm a big Carolina fan. And matter of fact, I need to give this. Do you write down the number? I'm a big Carolina fan. The number to here, so I can text the guest. I'm a big UNC fan, and I'm at this track meet, and I'm looking at all my Carolina runners get smoked by St. Augustine. Now I'm like, who is St. Aug, and why are they beating all the Tar Heels? Then I found out later they have so many Olympians. They have so many national champions coming from that school. And even though they didn't have the money, that coach knew how to recruit. He was a world-renowned coach. And even though he didn't have the money, what happened? He had the relationships. He was a winner. Nike was making sure that program stayed alive. Was giving them millions of dollars because, look, they want to invest in the best. And that's what they did. And so I see the same thing happening when you get brothers like this, McCord, Maker, go to Howard. And if more follow, they will get that money that they need to keep these programs alive.
Oh, our track program's heavily invested.
A&T is one of the best, period.
Heavy Nike money.
They one of the best, period. And before I was saying about how Belk bought the tracks, and I think he got St. Aug, and I know he has A&T, and now they host the regionals for NCAA. It's at A&T. That's a big deal for all my track people. That's a huge deal right there, man. We're gonna see what's gonna go on with that. Before we have the caller call in, give me that number one time, Dion. We're gonna have the caller call in. I didn't have the number. What's the number? It's gonna be 646-233. And y'all know I can't do three things at the same time. While I'm doing this, I want y'all to look at the flyest guy I know on earth. T, where was you doing when this picture came out? Let us know. That boy is fly. Look at him.
Do that, man.
Look at him.
I don't know nothing about nothing.
He don't know nothing about nothing.
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
Nah.
He been fly. Look at that dude.
Yeah, right.
Nah, I don't remember.
He been fly. Shout out to Soup on for this pic right here.
Yeah, I just found somebody posted it on Facebook.
Shout out to Soup on this one right here. It's Court. I just gave Court the number. She'll be coming out soon. She'll be calling us soon. Sorry for that. Let me get to people on the check-in. I want to give them shout out to Syfe. When he's talking about it was Texas, El Paso versus Kentucky in 1966 was when they won.
Glory Road, yeah.
Yes, Nick, Glory Road.
Yep.
What else we got? Yes, Pam, NCCU. Shout out to one people at Central. That Aggie Eagle Classic, what y'all know about it.
Man, my sister went to Central, so you already know.
Yes.
I like them a little bit.
Yes. Syfe, y'all, yes, UNC, that's the fam right there. That's where we going. Shout out to my brother Syfe right there. Yo, Syfe got, if y'all check my man Syfe, he got them bars, he got the music. And D, I want to put you on. I still got TJ, I still got the Flyers guy on Earth picture still up there, man. I want that rugby too. Where was I going, D? We about to have a caller call in. I want all y'all to do before she calls in. I know I'm sounding like I'm all over the place. Stay out of Atlanta. D, that look like that's you when you was playing ball. What's Suge talking about?
Anyone who don't want the
I need a Suge voice.
That is the Suge voice.
Okay, hi.
Anyone who doesn't want the governor all on TV panicking, closing down your state, come to death row, a.k.a. Atlanta. I'm scared of Atlanta.
She just got it.
She just got it. Yeah.
She
Supposed
just
to
got it.
tested positive.
Y'all know
With
Atlanta
no
is.
symptoms.
Everyone is
I think
in
we all
Atlanta.
got it. I feel like we all got it.
We all might have. We all got the cooties. I did not say the number after 7. And if you said that, that's how you got the cooties. I didn't say it. Some of y'all did. I got my cootie shot. But real talk, Atlanta's looking crazy. It's stupid open. Shout out to my people that's out there, man. But I see them in the clubs. I don't miss the club. I don't know about y'all.
Clubs, pool parties.
Pool parties. Everything is looking crazy out here.
I didn't like the club to begin with.
I love the clubs. I am a club
They
guy.
got retired.
I'm retired now.
I was over it, man.
Officially retired.
I could do it Fridays. I could do it B-dubs. I can go back to that.
Yeah, I like that.
I could do that. I do not need the section. I don't need half the rent for a bottle. I don't need it. It was fun when it was in times. Had some great. We was on that bus. He was on that bus right there. Look at that boy again.
That ain't still gonna change some people's habits.
It's not. It's not.
Still people on the stories, hitting different spots, partying. I see girls still letting people pour 1942 down their mouth.
Yo, is that new tequila that's out?
It's out. It's not really
No,
new.
it's not new, but yeah.
That's what all the girls like now. But
I see that new with a little fancy bottle. Look like it needs to be a plant inside. It look like a nice little vase.
Yeah, it is actually. I heard it. That's what the point is.
That's 1942.
That's the class Azul. I think?
We got a caller calling in. Caller. Hey, let me turn you up and let me turn this music off. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Court. Hey, Sue, what line is she on? Court, you speak up a little bit?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, and I got you loud. We have from the Kirk Effect studio, hair studio.
Yeah.
Miss Courtney Kirk, my sister from another mister on the line. What's going on?
I'm glad to be here.
I'm happy that you called. I know it was last minute.
Yeah.
We got the team right here. We got
Hey,
cousin D right here. We got
what's up,
TJ.
How you doing?
What's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Now Dion is from A&T. Please don't hold that against him.
Sorry.
Oh, I won't.
No.
It's
Talk some
okay.
trash here and there.
HBCU. It's all
All day.
good.
Definite. Court, you were one of. We're gonna talk about how you came from being a D1 dominant basketball player coming from Birmingham, Alabama. Fairfield in the building. I was
Yeah.
there. We're gonna talk about.
Yeah, you was there.
We're gonna talk about your journey to becoming the phenomenal
Let's do it.
hairstylist and shop owner. Where you want to take it from? Let's get to it. First of all, I want to ask, what made you decide to go to Howard HBCU?
I think growing up, my parents, they actually went to HBCU. My mom and my dad, I grew up on Tuskegee's campus.
Yes.
So growing up on that campus and seeing, just black people just really like doing it. I aspired to look like them and to be like them. So a lot of times when it comes to HBCUs, I think it's something that you have to be introduced to.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times I look at the kids now, they're not introduced to HBCUs, so they don't know much about them. They hear about them after the fact. Man, I wish I could have went to a HBCU. So for me, it was an early entry, like seeing my parents go to HBCUs and pledging, and really having that experience. I think that's why I chose Howard. I really kind of didn't have a choice. That was what I do. So I went with what was familiar. So yeah, that's why I chose Howard, the best.
No doubt.
Oh,
No
gosh.
doubt. No.
How long is this call gonna be? Because I can't take too much of that.
She's
hour.
getting all the
No
time.
shame.
She's getting all the time. Before we, speaking of Howard, speaking of playing ball, you had choices, I'm sure, to go to other D1 schools.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe some with more money.
Yeah, I had. But the thing about it was, I had choices to go, but I just felt like my fit when I did my official visit to Howard University. I went on that campus. I was like, this is it. Like it was it for me. So I just felt like I would fit in, you know. So that's pretty much why I chose Howard. Even though I had scholarships offered to me all across the country, but I just felt like it was right for me to go there. Like again, I said, you know, I grew up on HBCU campus, so you know, that's how I ended up at Howard University.
Real quick, how do you feel about the move with McCord Maker going to Howard? How do y'all feel? How do you feel?
I think it's major.
Mm-hmm.
I think, you know, I don't even know. I mean, has it ever been done before?
I don't think
to
so.
be honest.
I don't think in this
think
era of 5-star recruits and stuff like that, I don't think it has.
I don't think it's ever been done before. So I think that's major. I mean, and I applaud that kid for being able to do that. Because a lot of times when you're an athlete, you know, you want to top in the country, you don't even look at an HBC. You don't even know what an HBCU is when it comes to sports, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's major. I think it's major. And I think it's a good look for HBCUs, not just Howard, but for all HBCUs. So, yeah, I'm all for it. I'm excited.
Now, what was your major at school?
Communications.
Communication.
School of C.
Okay, School of C. Shout out to my people from School of C. Know a little bit about it. You went to School of C, so when you're going there, what are you thinking your career is about to be? You about to be a talk show host, sportscaster, or WNBA? What's going on in your mind while you're there?
A little bit of all three.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit of all three. Basketball was my first love.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, anytime just being an athlete, like, you automatically think that you are going to go big, you're going to play in the WNBA, the NBA, whatever it is. You know, you're going to play pro. So, you know, that was something that I definitely wanted to do. I was real tunnel vision about, you know, playing after I graduated.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, the life expectancy for, you know, a female athlete, especially playing ball, like you gotta, you know, it's not long. It's no longevity when it comes down to it. So, so that's how I ended up choosing hair.
Yeah, so because we was gonna get to that. So, thank you. Because you was balding. Now, was you doing people hair on campus? What was going on?
Yeah, I was. Hair was more my therapy. And I didn't, to be honest, that's the thing about gifts and talents. Like, you don't realize it until, like, you're kind of forced to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when your back is up against the wall, when you're trying to choose, okay, what is it that I want to do in life? So that's the thing. Like, hair was my second love. So I just honestly, I felt like the only way I was going to get out here and be successful is I had to do what my passion was. Like I said, basketball was my first passion, and hair was my second passion. So yeah, that's how I ended up in the hair industry. And I think for me, going to Howard and getting that experience as far as educate myself, you know, I can be honest with you, like the schoolwork part of it, I hated it. You know, I went to school. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you. I went to school to play ball. Like that was my thing.
I feel you.
Like that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to make a career out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my first love. So when that pretty much ended, like I had to figure it out. I had to go with my second love. So yeah, and it took some time, but I'm glad. It's the best decision ever. You know, all things happen for a reason. So.
You were there during the Iverson era. Were you braiding a lot of heads?
Oh yeah. Was I? No, actually, I wasn't braiding. I was doing like my teammates there.
Okay.
Like to be honest, yeah. So I would do their hair. But yeah, not necessarily braiding. I just love. It's just when you're passionate about something and you feel like it's your gift, it's like second nature.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's how it was for me.
So do you have to like set up shop in your dorm room back on campus back in the day?
Almost definitely. But the crazy thing about it is I never charged for it. Like I didn't charge anybody to do their hair. Like, $25, $30. That would probably be reasonable, right? But I never charged for it. I just loved it. It was something and I didn't even realize that I loved it until, like I said, after the fact. After I stopped playing basketball and I was trying to figure out what was my next move.
So you never said, if y'all don't give me the ball, I'm not going to do your hair? She led the team in scoring, D.
Oh. That's respect.
No, I didn't do my
Nah, I'm
teammates
messing
like
with
that.
you. I'm messing with you. I'm messing. So now you graduate, and you have to go to school for hair, right?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Okay, so that is so crazy because it's funny that you asked that. So when it came time for me to do, I guess it would be a career switch, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't tell anybody.
Mm.
I didn't tell anybody. I didn't let anybody know, hey, I think I want to do this. I honestly just researched it. I found the school. I met a young lady at a salon, and she had just finished school, and we had one conversation, and she was telling me, she was like, yeah, you probably need to check out this beauty school. It's a local beauty school. It takes about a year to get your license. So I was like, okay. I researched it, and the next day I went to the beauty school, and I met the owner of the school, and I signed up. And it's so funny because nobody knew I was in hair school until like my second month of me, going to school every day. So, like I said, usually it takes like a good year to finish. But I was so laser focused. I have never been that focused in my life, not even playing basketball. But it was like something about the hair industry. I knew what I wanted, and I knew, I researched and I knew what it was going to take to get there. So I just literally buried my head in the sand and just started working at it. And then before I knew it, it was done. The rest is history.
Now, you just said you didn't tell anybody. I know she has the smartest family I know on earth. Like, they are so into education.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Mama Kirk right there. Oh yeah. So y'all have, from the sisters to the brothers, are very bright, extremely well into education. Did you not tell anybody that you wanted to do hair because you didn't want to hear any negative feedback?
Yeah, that's exactly why I didn't say anything. And I feel like a lot of times when you're chasing your dreams, it's not for everybody to understand.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that was my perspective. And then it was so crazy because, everybody's so, in my family, they're so career oriented, pretty much. My sister's in corporate America, Colette, my twin sister, she's a doctor. My brother, he's in the school system, and my other brother, he's in sales. So I was going against the grain, So, I just didn't feel the need to tell it because I knew I didn't want any distractions. I didn't want anybody talking me out of it. It was something that I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stand 10 toes down, and if it work out, it work out. If not, then it'll be on me. I'll figure it out. So that's basically what happened. And it turned out to be one of the best things that I ever done in my life, because at that point, I just had to make it happen.
No doubt.
I didn't listen to anybody else. I didn't listen to the naysayers. I didn't even tell my mom or my dad, because at the time when I was in beauty school, I was living with them, trying to figure out what it was I was going to do. So they didn't know for months that that's what I was doing until I was too far in to even turn around.
No, I feel that's a smart decision.
Yeah.
For all those who are listening.
Yeah.
for all those that are listening. And then
Yeah.
you start off as a hairstylist.
Mhm.
Let's talk
Yeah.
about your first shop that you were in. Because right now you are
Okay.
an owner of your own shop,
Yeah, I'm an owner now. Yeah.
the Kirk Effect Hair Studio,
So-
to be exact.
Yeah. Yes.
But
I'm
you had
real
to start
proud
from
of it,
somewhere
like my
small.
baby. Yeah, I did. And the thing about it is, with success and anything that you work for in life is not an overnight thing. It takes time. It takes, it is not a quick nothing. Like people think that, you know, you can just start something and then you'll automatically start making money.
Mm-hmm.
I will be honest with you. My first experience in the salon, like I said, I was in school, and my first experience in the salon, I was working actually before I started school. Like maybe like a couple of months before I started school, my homegirl, one of my homegirls' sister had a salon, and I started working in her salon, and I was shampooing for $5 a head every day. I didn't complain about it. I knew I had a bigger picture in my head, so I was like, if I got to sweep floors in the salon, whatever I got to do. Now, remind you, I graduated from Howard University.
Yes,
Now,
yes.
come on, you know what I mean? So
And you're sweeping and you're shampooing $5 a head.
shampooing, making sure
College
the salon
degree.
clean.
So that
Yeah,
seemed like
one
a very
college degree,
humbling
but
experience.
I'm telling you, I had never been this focused. I was like, it doesn't matter. Like the whole time when I started, I saw the bigger picture. I saw it. I saw myself standing in my own salon years down the line. I saw myself standing behind the chair. I saw myself, on the platform teaching. I saw all of that before it even happened. So for me to start at a point where I was making $5, shampooing for somebody else, learning stuff in the industry, and a lot of stuff that I learned was what not to do in a salon. I'm in a salon. Yeah, I'm learning
That's
what
big.
not to do, how not to treat your client.
Yeah.
Things like that, and everything. When I tell you, everything worked out the way it was supposed to work out. I mean, I just look at it. Sometimes I read my journal and I just look at my journal and when I first started and how excited I was, and I had wrote down like all my goals and I want to do this in 5 years, this in 10 years, and when I tell you I hit the mark, it's mind blowing. But it comes with just you have to be focused. Like that's the big part of it. Like you have to be focused and you can't listen to the naysayers. You just your life is your life, and however you
doubt.
get there, hey, that's on you. So
True that.
yeah,
That's real. That's real
yeah,
right there.
real talk.
Now,
That's real talk. Mm-hmm.
I see one of these pictures that I have of you up here.
Okay.
You actually weren't just a hairstylist. You were a competitor in those competitions. Used to get on that stage and rock out. Bronner Brothers, I think that was you, right?
Yeah, well, at Bronner Brothers, I used to actually. I worked for a company, so I would do platform, and I actually was doing that right when I started. Like I think I was like fresh out of beauty school when I started doing that platform stuff. So, yeah, I had a journey.
How was that experience?
Yeah, so it was awesome. It was awesome because you get to meet so many different stylists from different areas, like different countries, like period. Like you just like my friends in the industry. A lot of my friends and people who I like hang with, or we do shows together, or we travel together, are friends that I met like at Bronner Brothers or doing hair shows and stuff like that. So what happens is you step outside of your comfort zone, like your area. like I'm from Birmingham, Alabama, but the hair that I do transcends from, all other states. Like, you put me up against anybody, I feel like I'm up to date on the hair industry, and that's because
You don't have to be humble on the
who I
show.
brush. No.
You can talk that
seriously.
talk. You at home.
It's a level of humbleness.
Nah, I'm messing with you.
But yeah, so that's because who I hang with.
No doubt.
Who you hang with is important too. It's imperative. Like my friends are from Houston. They're from North Carolina, New York. Like different areas, and we collab. We talk about the industry. Hey, what are you doing? What trends are you seeing? So it keeps you abreast on what's going on in the industry. You just don't have to limit yourself to that one area, because I feel like once you start stepping outside the box, that's when you start to really transition into making like big money. Like because you have something to offer people in your area that they not even used to.
No doubt.
So you start to separate yourself. So
now speaking of money, because I know you're making that money. If I go down to Alabama, when we take the show down to Alabama, dinner's on court. She got it. Dinner's on court.
Yeah, I'll take care of
Dinner's on court.
everybody. Look, y'all can bring somebody with you too.
Nah, definitely.
I take care of everybody.
Definitely.
That's Southern hospitality.
And you and your family have the greatest. The industry took a hit when COVID hit, and y'all had to shut down the shops.
Yeah.
Legally, y'all can't do hair. How did it affect you and your business?
Okay, initially, like when you go from working every day to being shut down like that, like it's a panic that you deal with. Like I'm not even gonna front and be like, shoot, it was good. I was good. But initially, like I was like, oh my God. But not just that. I think for me, like you said, I just opened up the Kirk Effect Hair Studio. Well, I opened that up during the pandemic. I still wasn't finished building out my salon. So my salon is, I've been open since they released us to go back to work.
Okay.
So here it is. They shut us down. I'm still not done, with my project. So I had to really be intentional about everything. Like I had to, first of all, either you sink or you swim, right?
Yeah.
So for me, sinking wasn't an option. It wasn't an option because I felt like, I came too far. Like, okay, God, like you're gonna bring me this far, and then now all of a sudden, it's over. Like, how does this work? But then I had to really realize that, hey, this was my destiny. This is my calling. Like, just ride it out. So that's what I did. You know what I mean? And as soon as I opened up, when I tell you, I had so many people. I couldn't even fit everybody on my book. Like my clients were very excited about coming back. Of course, we have certain guidelines that we have to go by, so I can't do as many people as I normally do. But it allows me to be able to give my clients an experience and also offer more services. Okay. So the ticket goes up. So it's actually, for me, I actually have learned how to work smarter during this pandemic, as opposed to working so hard. Like going from doing 25, almost 30 people a day to now I do between 10 and 12 a day. But it gives me time to really strategically make out my schedule. And I feel like, when you are doing what you called to do, there is no lack. So I can't honestly, from a financial standpoint, I mean, I'm good.
That's what it is.
I'm good.
Dinner's on
so,
her.
It's a blessing. I mean, I don't take that for granted.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
What was the difference
So,
coming from I'm a stylist working at the shop, now I'm the owner?
oh my God, it's a difference. It's a big difference. And at first, I was like so nervous because I was like, okay, now it's like having like a child, like you're birthing a child, right? So that's like it was like, okay, this is my baby. I got to make sure that I'm dotting my I's and I'm crossing my T's.
Mm-hmm.
So I have four of the stylists. Well, it's four of us, a total of four stylists. I didn't want anything too massive,
Mm-hmm.
so I wanted to start out and make it really nice and give other stylists the opportunity to work in that type of environment.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's just overseeing and making sure that like everything is being handled from the business standpoint as well. Like making sure that everything is being ran like a well-oiled machine. And sometimes my days are a little bit longer because I have to stay and make sure things are cleaned up, make sure my books are right and all of that stuff. But it's worth it. It's so worth it. I'm just at this point. I think I'm pretty proud of myself because I didn't going through the process of trying to open a salon, especially during COVID, and just taking a project and seeing how it's going to come out. I was so nervous, so scared, didn't think it was gonna happen. Some days I was crying, trying to figure out things, but to see it manifest, man, it's the best feeling in the world. It's the best feeling in the
That's
world.
amazing.
So yeah, I'm happy about it.
I'm happy you're happy about it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So,
Definitely.
just making it happen.
That's huge right there.
Yeah.
Some of the other stuff that was just going on. So now that you made it, how did your family feel about it after the effect? And no pun intended, because we're talking about the Kirk Effect Hair Studio. But after you graduate and now you're into it, what was the feeling around the house and in the talks with the family?
Man, it's like I can't believe, like they're so happy for me. Like I didn't, because when I was doing it, I was just like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then for my family to be just proud, like my dad, my mom, is just like, I'm just so proud of you. I think for me, like, I think a big part of who I am is because of my parents. So to be able to stand on 2 feet and be able to take care of myself, and for my parents to be proud of me, I think for me that was so major because I think that's the biggest gift that you can give your parents is to be able to make it on your own and to be able to be successful. Like, my parents spent a lot of time, and money, investing in us. Like it's 5 of us, and they made sure we had everything, and like you said, we college educated, all of us. And for me to be able to, open this salon and for them to be proud of me is just, my siblings, because I'm the first, owner in the family. I'm the
Talk
first
that.
person to ever step. You said what now?
I said talk that. Owner.
Yeah, owner. Yeah, so it's something different, but it's just it's like wow. But my parents, just for me to be able to be successful in their eyes, I think that's the biggest reward of it all.
Oh man, I'm caught. I want to say I'm super proud of you. When I think
Thank you so
I
much.
see you
That
on the
means a
gram, I'm
lot.
like, yo, Court is doing hair, and I would check in with you time to time, like, Court, I need you on.
Yeah.
I want you on.
Yeah.
And I felt
I'm so happy that we made it happen too. So happy that you reached out. I checked my DMs. I was like, Jason. I was like, oh yeah, I gotta go on tonight.
I definitely
Gotta
appreciate
do
it. I definitely
Yeah.
appreciate
Thanks
it.
for reaching out. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
We thought the time was right. You know, with everything involved. Congratulations with your hair shop. Like once
Thank
again,
you
the
so
Kirk
much.
Effect Hair Studio. Congratulations. You want to shout out anybody out there?
Who can I shout out?
What about the people? Starting about your employees at the shop, your coworkers.
Oh, my employees, my coworkers, my homegirl Cassidy and Stephanie and Lisa. Yeah, those are some people that I've been working with for a long time. Like you know, you have to build a team around you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my team, and we vibe together. We work well together. We've been working together for a while, so and it works. So
That's what's up.
you know, let's get
That's
that
important.
money.
Then it's on you, like we keep saying. We know you getting that money. We know that now. You know?
I'm trying, but to be honest, I will be honest. I work hard. Like I work, so I'm not just sitting back. Like you know, just I work. So don't get it twisted.
One last question before we close out officially. When it comes to money, because I've been hearing that from other hairstyles, a lot of cash comes in and out. How did you get the discipline to hold on to the money and not just blow it?
Well, I think a lot of that has to do with my background. My mom always, she taught us at an early age how to save our money. Mm-hmm. You know, that was always a conversation in our household. And just, you know, having basically that type of model in your home, you know. And then I will say going to Howard and taking, you know, business classes and stuff like that, you learn that. That's something. And, you know, a lot of times, I'm not saying that you got to come from a two-parent home. And, you know, you have to be intentional about saving your money. You got to be intentional about getting the knowledge behind, you know, how how financially to be savvy with your money. So I think a lot of it is you have to make an effort to, you know, build capital and save and, you know, invest and stuff like that. Like for me, working on this salon, I will be honest, when I first started in the industry, I started saving my money as soon as I started making money.
No doubt.
I was saving.
And that's rare that you hear that. I'm going to let you know.
Yeah, I was saving for now. I had a business plan early off into the industry because that's something that I was not just taught, but, you know, like I said, going to Howard, like, you know, learning about it. So I think that even if you don't have to be a college graduate to understand that, you just got to seek the knowledge, you know. It's good. We make so much money, cash money, but if you're not saving it or if you spending everything that comes in your hand, like that's not being business savvy.
No doubt.
So you really do have to be intentional about what you spend, what you make, what you invest in, and stuff like that. You got to have a plan.
I'm gonna tell you, you dropped so many gems. I ain't even have to ask certain questions. You laid it out. Court, you laid. This is one we just passed the ball off, and she just scoring like your teammates when you were doing their hair. Like, she getting the ball. I got these finger waves and these scrunchies. She put my tracks in.
I'm sitting here listening like she's breaking it all down.
Broke it all down.
About her business. That's what's up.
I did.
You broke it down. You broke it down.
I'll have to come back on.
Yes, you do.
I'll have to dial in. Yeah, I'll definitely.
You have to come up north. You got New York friends.
Yeah.
You got to come up north. You have to do that. And we have to take the show on the road one time and go down there. We definitely do.
Yeah.
Maybe meet in Atlanta. Not right now.
No.
Not this Atlanta.
No, my brother.
Yeah, not right now.
Not this Death Row Atlanta. But we gonna meet soon. We gonna meet soon. You know the purposes of this show is to shed light and to praise these barbers and hairstylists because you guys are the pillars of the community and you keep us together. You give us the confidence that we need. So we had to shout you out, Court.
Well, shout out to y'all. This is amazing, and thanks for having me. And Jason, I'm proud of you as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
I keep up with you.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Court, any last people that you want to shout, Mom, Pop? You done praised everybody. They all know. They all know now. Anybody else before you?
I think I covered everybody.
I think you covered everybody. I think you covered everybody.
Yeah.
Court,
Well, thank y'all so much.
You're quite welcome. You earned it. Salute to you. I'm gonna send you the link later on.
Okay.
So with the YouTube link, and you already got it on Facebook. Please share it with your friends. 'Cause everybody needs to hear this Courtney Kirk journey.
Thank you so much.
You have a great one. Appreciate you.
All right, it was great vibing with y'all. Y'all take care.
All right now. Bye bye.
Okay. Bye.
Yo, shout out to Court. We gotta stick to our script too. One thing with this show, we definitely talk about everything under the sun from topics and events, but we still want to praise these barbers and these hairstylists as much as we can.
Especially now, coming back.
Especially now. Y'all know how it feels when you got your fresh shape up. Y'all ladies know how it feels. I'm not going to say who was mad when someone did their hair, but I was around this woman earlier today, and she was pissed off. We're not going to say who. We're not going to say, but she was mad. She said, you know what? I need a hat today because I am mad at what this hairstylist did.
Ooh,
Boo on them. Boo on them. But shout out.
COVID giving.
You can't coming out whack. You better come with your focus and be dope. When you're doing everyone's cut, when you're doing everyone's hairstyle, doobie, whatever you're doing, make sure you do it with passion. Make sure you don't do this to your hair. You might blow up out there. With this type of dude, that might happen. No curls for this summer. Shout out to all my barbers. Shout out to all my stylists. Shout out to everybody on the check-in. Anybody else got any?
Nah, we appreciate y'all. That's all.
Nope.
Appreciate everybody. Till next time, we are Beards and Baldheads. We'll holla at you.